Hello, hi, good morning. Welcome to the session. So today's our topic is integrating Anypoint platform data into CSV file. So today's our agenda is log into Anypoint platform to get the bearer token, fetch the profile data into CSV file, fetch the API manager data into CSV file, fetch the runtime manager data into CSV file, and POC. So let's begin the session. So these are the prerequisites. We require Anypoint platform account and Postman. So Anypoint platform account, to access the Anypoint platform APIs, you need to have a valid Anypoint platform account. So you can sign up for a free trial account. And Postman, the Postman collections also require you to have a valid Postman account. So these are the two prerequisites which we need to achieve this task. So log into Anypoint platform to fetch the bearer token information. So first you can make use of the login to Anypoint platform post request. We need to log into to our account. So with this URL Anypoint platform anypoint.mulesoft.com accounts login and method post, and this is the body username and password you need to pass, so that this will be the response. So from this response you will get this access token. This access token we need to pass from as an authorization in the header, so that we can access to our Anypoint platform account. And next, fetch the profile data into CSV file. So whatever the profile data of our Anypoint platform account, that we can fetch, and we will integrate into CSV file. So here making HTTP REST call to fetch the Anypoint platform profile from Studio application. And this is the URL you need to hit, so that with get operation you will get the you can fetch the data whatever there in your account. That is profile data you can fetch through this URL. So in the header, as I discussed earlier, the whatever the access token that we got from login request, so that access token we need to pass under this header section as authorization. So this is the format you have to pass: bearer and space we need to provide this access token. So here I am referring it from variable. So if we don't have variable, then we can directly pass this access token. And then create a folder and file under source main resources. So we have to create a CSV file or any type of folder we have to uh, create under source main resources, and give the path of that file into your write file connector, so that you can fetch the data profile data into your CSV file. So this is the sample screenshot I have kept here. So we will discuss about this in POC. So this is the listener, and this is the request which I am calling to fetch the profile data of our Anypoint platform account. And this is just a logger I have placed here to print, to just show the login details and all. And then whatever the data we are fetching from this requester, that I am uh, uh, storing it here in this write connector. So fetch the API manager data into CSV file. Making HTTP REST call to fetch the API manager data from Studio application. So we have to use HTTP requester, and this is the URL which we have to place in this HTTP requester to fetch the data. So REST call we are performing here, and the method is get method, as we need to fetch the data from Anypoint API manager. And this is the header, authorization header, and bearer whatever the token we got it from login access. So that bearer to that access token we need to pass under this header section. And as we need to create a folder and file under source main resources, and drag the write file connector and give the path of the file, and give the content as payload. So we want to print, if we want to print the payload, so that we can give this payload as content, so payload can be printed in that uh, file. So this is the sample thing here. In this is the requester configuration. Here I am passing the URL And this here I mentioned operation as get, and here in this header section I'm passing this authorization. So I'm sending it from headers portion, so that's the reason here I'm referring it from attributes dot headers dot authorization, and fetch the runtime manager data into CSV file. So making HTTP REST call to fetch the runtime manager data from Studio application, and with the HTTP request configuration, we can fetch the data. So this is a URL which we are going to hit to get the runtime manager data, and method to fetch the data. So we are using get method, and in the header portion, as usual, we need to pass this authorization to access that Anypoint Platform Runtime Manager, and same need to create one more folder and file under create one more file under the source main resources, and drag the right file connector and give the path of the file and give the content as payload. And this is the URL we are passing it under HTTP configuration. This is referring, and here in this URL part we are providing this URL, and here method is get method, and authorization is this. In the header section we are passing this authorization, and we are fetching it from headers portion, so from the uh, request, so attributes dot headers dot authorization. So let's move on to our POC. Let me open my studio. So here so this is the profile data. First of all, we have to log into our Anypoint platform, so that we need to fetch the access token. So this is the Postman collection, Anypoint platform Postman collection. So here in this login section, let me send this. This is the URL which we need to pass, and post method. This is a post call, and in the inside the body, I'm sending username and password as JSON format, and once I hit this, I will get let me clear all these cookies and then hit it one more time. So now we got access token for my account, and then take this access token and we need to send. And here in my studio, my application is already running. Here my application is already running, and this is the flow which I want to fetch the profile data. So this is the listener. Here I'm configuring, I'm giving path as profile data path, and port number 8081 localhost, and then, and in this HTTP requester configuration, so this is the URL I'm providing, and I'm fetching the data from this URL. So the method is get method, and here in this portion, this is the authorization I need to pass to get the access to this Anypoint platform. So I'm sending this authorization from headers. So I have configured here. I will show you how I am passing. So here go to profile data. So this is my local configuration and the local URL and path name as profile data. And in the header section, this is the authorization, and this is the bearer token. I need to change this bearer token. So this is the new bearer token. So if I hit this, let me run it in debug mode, so that I will show you how whatever the data we are getting from this requester. Let me hit on it. Let me run it in debug mode. And meanwhile, let me add this bearer token to all these um, calls. Here in this headers portion, let me change this. And in this runtime manager, in the body, we are not passing anything as because it is a get method. So we are fetching the data. So that's the reason we are not sending any body request as request. Yeah, our application is deployed. So let me hit it. So to fetch the profile data, let me send this. It came here. Let me show you what and all the headers and all we got it from requester. So this is the payload we are getting from profile data. This is the payload which we are getting from profile data. Attributes. So these are all the attributes headers. This is the all the information which we are getting from our profile, Anypoint platform profile. And this is the payload which we are fetching from the profile Anypoint platform. So here in this write connector, I have created one file. So this is the CSV folder I have created. Under this folder, I have created API manager, profile, and runtime files. So let me hit this. So here in this transfer message, I'm not printing all the payload. I'm just printing this ID, organization ID, ID provider ID, enabled, and client ID. So these are the details I'm providing from the profile data into this CSV file. Let me hit it one more time. So this is the data which it is printed in this profile file. ID, organization ID, ID provider underscore ID, enabled, and client ID. And next, let us fetch the data from runtime Anypoint platform runtime manager. So the listener, I have changed the path. I have given the path as runtime manager data. So here runtime manager data, I have given this path. And in the requester, I have configured runtime manager URL so that it fetch the data from this Cloud Hub API organization anypoint .mulesoft.com Cloud Hub API organization. And in the headers portion, authorization I am passing, and that authorization I am sending from header section. So I have already added this authorization under this header section bearer, and this is the access token. So and then in the transfer message, I'm sending these details to this CSV file, write file, ID, name, CSID, enabled, and max sandbox workers, how many workers are there in this sandbox, and object store v1 disabled or enabled, and ID and name of this uh, thing, and CS ID. So these are the fields I am writing in this write connector. So let me hit this runtime manager URL. So now the process is here. Let's go to Mule debugger and hit to next processor, and this is the data we are fetching it from runtime manager. So this is ID, CSID, name, enable true, and this is all the data. Name, micro, worker types, name, worker value, vcos, memory, and this is all the data we will get from this URL, from this HTTP REST request. So we are fetching this data and we are passing these fields into write connector, write file. So let me open this. So this is the write file connector, and this is the path of that particular file, runtime file. Let's see that runtime file. What's the data is printed? Let's open this, and this is the data printed in this runtime file. And next, let's move on to the third one, that is API manager. So here, let me show you this flow. This is a Anypoint manager flow, and this is a listener, and I have given the path as API manager data, and the same path I am hitting API manager data. And here, this is the requester which I am using to fetch the API manager data. So this is the URL, anypoint.mulesoft.com API manager xapi slash v1 organizations active. Why I am passing here means, if we don't pass this URL like this, it will take the port number as 443. Then we will not able to hit this Anypoint platform account. So that's the reason I'm passing the whole URL under this URL section. So in the headers portion, I'm fetching, I'm assigning this headers as attributes.headers.authorization, and I am passing it as an header authorization. And then in the transform message, whatever we get so much of data from this runtime API manager. So I am fetching these details and I am passing to file connector. So ID, name, domain, ID provider underscore ID, client ID, MFA required, organization type. So this is the data I'm passing to this CSV file. So let's hit this URL. Let hit this flow. So this is the API manager data flow, and I'm hitting this. So it came here. Let's move to the next processor. And in the payload, see, this is the payload which it is which this REST call is fetching the data from Anypoint Platform API Manager. So updated at owner ID, client ID, ID provider ID is federated, MFA required is automation, admin, promotion, organization type, g.id is root, is master, category, type, trial account. This is expiration, and this is the expiration of this trial account, and category under developer. And this all the parent name is null, parent ID is null, domain is this is the domain, and the name, while creating this I have given this name, so that's the reason this is printed here. So these all are the data which we can fetch from API manager through this REST call. So let me hit to this file connector, and in this file connector I have given the path of this file. This is the path of this file, and with name API manager, it is under CSV folder, and so I'm printing this payload. So whatever the payload I have configured in this transform message, that payload will be printed in this write file. So let me execute this, and we'll show this runtime, sorry, API manager. Yes, so this is the data which it is printed in this file. So the main functionality of this is we need not to go and check every time the Anypoint platform account, and we if we want to check all these details, that it is a time taking process. By using this by simply using this URLs, and by making this REST API calls, we can fetch whatever the data from runtime manager, API manager, the status of this our application, what we have published into our into runtime manager, and what and all the policies applied, and all these data we can fetch it from studio application. So that is the main main purpose of utilizing these uh, uh, all these URLs and all. So I hope you like this session. Thank you so much. Thank you.